Why can't I wear cloaks in public?
Oh, gorgeous blue.
Put on... Oh, put on the silver ring. It says in tower.
That's, again, those are both items that you actually require, that are required to get in. Like, you know that weird freaky room that I met Maria in? She was like, oh yeah, Richter's evil. Yeah, those are both.
Oh, yeah.
So those don't actually technically do anything. So, like, your options are what I've got on right now, the Ankh of Life, the Bloodstone, and the Secret.
Secret boots, I guess.
Yeah, I love being a pixel taller.
Stupid item.
Alright, I don't think you guys have strong opinions about this, so I'm just going to put on the Mystic Pendant and call it a day.
Okay, sure. Let's roll. Paul's tired, I'm tired. Let's get this rolling.
Alright,
Kill these tombstones, which are right side up, even though they shouldn't be. Did you just summon that guy with an arrow? Is that what the weapon does?
Is that a Dawn Warrior?
those are all Dawn
Holy
Warriors.
shit.
That's kind of
They're
cool.
like dead Dawn Warriors or whatever?
I'm glad that you've summoned up all these warriors to defeat these powerful tombstones, these pieces of jumping rock.
Well, you know, you need some friends, right? That's why I wanted the, that's the only reason I wanted the Dawn, sort of Dawn. Like, it's okay. It's like a serviceable weapon, right? But, you know, the real sex appeal of the Sword of Dawn is the fact that you can summon an entire horde of dudes to come and fight.
It is. See, right where there you go. That's your waifu, the Sword of Dawn.
I mean, technically, you could pick out a waifu from the Sword of Dawn lineup. Let's see.
I like those guys.
Those guys are good.
Why is it summoning like one guy this time? Is it random what you get?
Yeah, it's not.
I like that sorceress. Why wasn't she dead? Oh, snake butt. Oh, it's Medusa.
Well, this is another option for your waifu.
Dude, use that stone resist potion. Or just be incredibly cheap.
You know, that's wrong. That's wrong. I find her butt strangely attractive, and I feel like that's perverse, and I should be in prison.
That's pretty messed up, but
this is your new waifu, Brian.
You know, I like my women intense. I like them powerful. I like them different, and that's certainly all of these things.
you know that Medusa was one of the ancient Greeks who invented an astrolabe. That's the myth, at least.
Was it Perseus?
No, it was Theseus.
Oh, it was Theseus.
Yeah, it was Perseus, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you know the
Oh, look, it's the heart of Vlad. Sorry, what?
I started reading the Story of Civilization, Volume 2, The Life of Greece, and one of the things that said in there was that when Theseus came back from his expeditions, right? They took the ship of Theseus. Was it the Argos?
Right, and they kept it there in the port, and then they would slowly replace plank after plank until it became a big debate amongst philosophers whether it was the same ship or a different ship.
Yeah.
As it slowly rotted.
Yeah, which is I never realized that's what that came from. They apparently claimed that this was really his ship, and that they treated it as such and did all of that. I also, which is really wild. Didn't quite realize that. I also learned that Schliemann, the guy who found Troy, was a complete sociopath. Or not a sociopath, but a lunatic. he grew up like a lower middle class guy in Germany. That his father was really obsessed with. His father really loved the Iliad and ancient Greece, and so his dad would read to him from the Iliad like every night before bed. And at age 8, he declared to his father that he would find Troy. And then at like age 12, wrote his first essay about the Trojan War in Latin. And then once he came of age, he was really poor. So he worked for years and years as a merchant, hoarding money for the sole purpose of one day going to try and find Troy. And he would learn the languages of any place that he opened a merchant house by, he would write his journal in the language of that particular country, so Turkish or Greek or whatever. And that's how he learned to speak ancient Greek, is he would just keep his journal every day in ancient Greek for years on end. And that, and so he found Troy. He also found Mycenae in Greece. And apparently he almost found the temples of Gnosis, or the palaces of Gnosis of King Minos, the guy who built the Minotaur.
Right.
But he found where he thought it was. He wanted to dig, and the farmer who owned the land tried to haggle him on the price to buy the right to dig there, and Schliemann got really pissed off and just walked away. So he missed out on discovering those palaces and getting to take out a third civilization to his repertoire. He at his wedding, he insisted on reading his wife insisted on having like a biblical reading, but he followed up the biblical reading by reading 100 hexameters of the Iliad.
What a good guy.
He named his children Agamemnon and Menelaus.
Are you saying he liked the Iliad?
I'm saying he loved Greece too much. Like, he was out of control. At his funeral, he had people, his son recited like a funeral oration in like Linear B or whatever, in like ancient Greek. He in his last days, I guess, like the local Greek priests were trying to get him to convert to take last communion or take last rites from the Greek Church, Orthodox Church, and he instead refused, and instead told his son that the only prayers he wanted offered were to Zeus. After he died.
Zeus and his army of flying zombies.
Yeah, it's just his army of flying zombies. Yeah, he's just a lunatic of a man. And no one took him seriously. People barely wouldn't take him seriously during his lifetime as an archaeologist, because he was a really crappy archaeologist, even though he was the guy who went and discovered all of these new things. He wasn't very thorough. He didn't really understand what he was doing. But he was just a lunatic who went out and was like, I'm digging holes until I find it. And then he found it.
Did they admit that it was Troy in his lifetime?
They did eventually, yeah. I don't know about Troy, but they didn't really admit Mycenae. It was Mycenae until after he was dead. And the Will Durant suggests that it was one of the reasons that he died, I guess, not that old of an age, like he's maybe 60 or something, in part because of the way in life he put all of this effort and all of this money and everything he had into discovering these things. And people were just like, no, you must be crazy. This can't really be the Troy. Troy's a fiction. The Mycenae, they thought everything was fake, right? They didn't believe any of the ancient Greek history was real at the time. And that was the big thing. And it took a long time for them to finally own up to the fact that he had really demonstrated the relatively literal truth of a lot of it. But also he was ridiculous. He'd find a copper pot in a pit at Mycenae, and he'd be like, I have found the sarcophagus, the tomb of Agamemnon. And really he found the town garbage dump. Well, he did find the town, Or he found a copper pot in the ground at Troy when he was digging for Troy, and he declared it to be the treasury of Priam. But the treasury of Priam included 3 pots, a goblet, and a necklace. And that's like the cumulative wealth of Priam.
Man. That's almost as interesting as Castlevania Symphony of the Night. No, but that's pretty sweet. I didn't know that he was a birdman who would shoot ravens at you. I think he was, yeah. What an impressive dude.
Dude wanted to do a thing and he did it. Yeah, like pretty much like supposedly just basically like walked around Greece, using like it took his sources were the ancient Greek sources and he figured it out based on their description, like Homer's descriptions of the geography. Like
what, like yeah, I remember Brian walked next to this rock and he said, "Man, I wish my son was like alive."
Well, pretty much like the way that he.
Or is this a mummy?
Like the different like geographical
Akmodan II. Brian, you may know a lot about Greece, but do you know anything about the great pharaoh Akmodan II?
I don't. I have never heard of Akmodan. Who the heck is Akmodan?
Above and away the worst boss fight in the entire game. It's like, oh no, the worst thing that can happen to me is dust. He can hit me with dust. And also, he's dead already. I don't know.
Yeah, it would be really impressive if you had died to him.
Brian was talking about that Greek guy for like 15 minutes. I kind of zoned out.
So we just find it based on... That's pretty cool, because that's how I found where I wanted to go in Morrowind. Why are you getting Vlad's body? Why are you getting parts of Vlad? Who is Vlad? Is Vlad Dracula?
You beat this game, Paul.
Yeah, but I didn't do this stupid shit.
No, you did. You have to beat Akmodan too to actually beat the game, right? Because you have to collect the 5 pieces of Dracula in order to actually face Dracula.
Really? You can't just show up?
No.
Show up, say hey?
At a minimum, in order to face Dracula, you have to beat at least Medusa, Akmodan 2, Death, the Creature, and there's a 4th guy. Oh, the Darkwing Bat.
What?
Yeah, like you have to gather the 5 pieces of Dracula's body.
The Darkwing fucking bat?
Yeah.
Now, how did you realize where these were?
Well, it's a throwback to the original Castlevania game where the main bosses that you fought were Medusa, the Bat, Frankenstein, and
a mummy.
mummies. You have to fight a mummy, and you also have to fight Death, right? So they made sure like the holders of those really critical items were those bosses in this game, right? That makes sense?
Yeah, cool. So it's kind of like a BSDM fetish party, where everybody is an old horror monster. Hey,
Sure.
remember when this was on the ceiling and I didn't even scare you? What the fuck? Ghost dancer? Like a tiny dancer?
Oh, he dropped a Buffalo Star, Brian. I could go equip that and use it one time and then be weaponless for 15 minutes.
You ridiculous enemy! That's almost as bad as Were Skeleton.
I like that the Karosamon, the wing guy. I thought that was a pretty cool. I like his style.
He's got there are a ton of enemies in this game, I think, who have a great design. I think Karasuman, in spite of him being just a very shitty enemy in general, like in terms of, I think, overall difficulty and quality.
His name is Karasuman.
He's actually has a very cool design.
Yeah, he's cool looking.
Kunta Kinte?
Coincidentally, I've been playing this game through on another playthrough just for the sake of remembering where to go to try and optimize the playthrough, right? And I think that they fucked up this guy's name with the Cthulhu. I think the other guy should be named Malachi, and this guy should be Cthulhu.
Yeah, I can see it in the face tentacles. That's the Japanese. What was I going to say? Paul, Kunta Kinte, did you know their roots was largely fabricated?
That Alex hit up? Yeah, but I mean, like, I want you to know that in my, on the redneck side of my family, we always said that we were part Native American, and that my grandpa had these really high cheekbones, and you could tell that he was a Native American. and then I got a DNA test, and we are the whitest people on planet fucking Earth. So, I'm in that boat with Alex Haley. He and I against the world.
Pretending to be ethnicities that we're not. Oh my goodness. I'd be scared to take one of those tests. What if it turns out I'm not really Canadian?
Or Welsh. Or secretly Samoan, as your grandmother said when she was on drugs.
It probably wouldn't identify you as Canadian, Brian. I don't know if it's that sophisticated.
Whoa.
Brian is ethnically Canadian, and that is a slur.
That's why I counted as an underrepresented minority on my college applications. There's very few Canadians in America.
Well, this is like Hunting Girl, except not hot. Don't even kill it. Just go away. I don't care about it. Yeah.
Good area.
Okay.
Not this guy again.
Oh, you mean Malachi?
Dude, is that bad? Did that bat just flip out?
Jesus Christ. Oh, I just got tossed.
Tossed like an old cookie. You get on the other side of him so that if he like really destroys you again, then you won't get thrown out of the kingdom.
Nope.
It's time to go now.
Sword of Hadar.
Yeah, it is. I'm gonna run to the nearest.
Try that library card.
You don't have any use. Nope. Nope. Fuck. Okay, there we go. I got it. I'm out. Peace.
I'm just gonna turn into mist and just go away.
Just had enough of this. Had enough of this. Retreat.
God, that fucking
away.
what a chai. God, what?
Yeah, see, like, this is the part of the game where, like, the choices that you guys make for me may actually start impacting my play.
Oh my goodness, what if you die?
Oh,
How
Christ, get out of
down?
here! Okay, do whatever stupid shit you're doing. All I want to do is get to the nearest save point.
Woo! Alright, Nunchaku.
We're misting away.
It just turns into fucking mist and flies away. So I'm done with this. I'm really done with this. I didn't know you could do that. I never tried turning into mist and going the hell away.
No, that's it's a pro strat, Paul. You just turn into mist for the entire game.
PS Pro Strat. Alright, you guys, I'm dying. I want to go to bed.
Alright, yep.
All right.
Next time on Men with Advanced Degrees Play, Paul will be awake.
Paul will be awake, and we'll talk more about this guy who somehow managed to find ancient Greece. Actually, play a little bit more, because let me tell you something. There's a whole bunch of wacky fucking archaeologists in the world, Brian. Did you know that there was this one guy? There were a lot of guys who did Mayan archaeology really poorly. Just like really shittily, just like they had no idea what they were doing. There's this one British noble who came over, and he looked at all the Mayan stuff, and he looked at their hieroglyphs, and he said, you know what? This is the last tribe of Hebrew. This is the 13th tribe that was lost. Figured it out, guys.
Now, did
Check
he
that
go
box.
He wants to find Troy, and therefore he's going to dig holes in the ground until he finds a city, and then he's like, bam, guys, Troy.
No, it's not like hard to find the Mayan things because all the Mayans are still there and they know where they are.
Yeah.
So you just like say, hey, where's the thing? It's like, oh, okay.